Yang Lu Chan's basic form, lesson 8. Okay, we're carrying on from single whip into double dragon palms. Fairly simple set of movements. Okay, the first thing I'll talk about is the footwork. Remember what I said about the single whip stance being slightly narrower and longer than a bow stance. So when we do this move, we sit back, but when we come in to the front and come forward, we need to come back to a normal bow stance. We don't want to be in the single whip stance anymore. So you watch what happens when I turn my hips to the front and sink back. See what the foot does. It's out here, just that much. It's not much. The most important thing you can do here is make sure you don't overdo that step or that little adjustment of the foot. You've got the narrow, longer stance. It only comes back a couple of inches, just the width of your own foot. Do not think to yourself, don't have it in your mind to pull the foot backwards. Only have it in your mind to push the foot to the left. As the hip pulls back, the foot will move to the left. The further the foot moves to the left, it has to come back. It can't not come back. But if you think to yourself, oh, I need to pull my foot in, it's just going to come straight in and it won't go wider. So you must have it in your mind, okay, as I sit back, the foot moves left, just about that far, 2 or 3 inches. So as your hips to the front, you're in a normal bow stance, then you can progress forward and you'll have your normal width back, just like any of the other postures. So you're back in your normal bow stance. Okay, this next posture from here, you've got your right arm, remember your right arm is straight and the hook is down, facing just not right out to the north, just a little bit past the north, and the left palm out here. Okay, this is what the hands are going to do. See that? So the right arm just bends off that, so it comes back to a normal bend, like normal, and then strikes out. So both palms are going to get this kind of intent, like they're striking outward with the pisiform bone again, that knife edge. So from here, you sit slightly back and open your center so you turn to the corner. Remember, single whip is slightly off center anyway, so single whip is like that, not like this. You're a little bit off center, but now, see, we're going to open, so we're facing right out to the corner, to the northwest corner. So we're facing down to the west. You're going to go open, bang. You slightly sat back to about 50-50, and your waist is opened. Your eyes are looking slightly to the rear, to the right hand, so you can see both your hands peripherally, but your eyes are fractionally looking to the rear. And you've struck out. Your hands are now going to do a scooping in motion, like as if you're grabbing onto something. So they're going to tuck in like this, and then strike out with the fingers. So you've got 3 elements to the hands. Strike out like that, with the double palms. Bang. Tuck in, and then strike with the fingertips, like that. And you've got to do that as you sit back. So we go from here, we go open, close, open. See how there's a little bit of a rock back in the weighting. So your weight is simply going to go sit back, sit forward, sit back, like that, rather than just going and sitting all the way back the whole time. You're going to slightly sit back to there. It's just a fraction of a sit back, not much. Just like that. So I haven't done a big movement like this. Little movement, bang, with that. Now as I scoop in, I basically go back to where I was, back into that forward weighted stance as I do that. Now, as I sink further back into this right leg, I extend the palms out like that. My left palms, for this whole sort of movement like this, the left palm is more or less facing to the front. The rear hand, its intent is on that rear corner, like that. So they're 135 degrees apart from each other. So, 1, 2, 3. At this point, I'm 70%, 70 to 80% back in this right leg. So I'm not 100% back yet. The next move, I'll sink 100% back. One more time. Open, close, open. Okay, from here, this is where you're going to do that little adjustment that we just talked about right at the beginning. As you do that, you're going to sink all your weight back. There's the little adjustment. Totally in the rear foot now. Hips are everything centered on the west to the front. As you do that, you're just going to take your palms and make like you're holding a ball in front of you. Like that. Notice how it's not like this, not directly on top of each other. It's just a little bit to the side. Like that. So effectively the left palm, which is like that, just does a little circle down. Just a slight arc. So it doesn't just drop. If I exaggerate, it would be a circle this way, but it's only fractional. It's just like that, you see? And it's going from a yang hand to a yin, well, both hands are going from yang hands, in fact, to slightly yin hands. The bottom hand being more yin, of course, than the top hand. Top hand's kind of in a neutral state, like that. The right hand will kind of come like that. See, it kind of comes over the top. It doesn't come around the side like this. It'll come like you're bowling a ball kind of thing. So as you sit back and breathe in, you get that posture. So your both palms are loaded like that, like you're holding something. So then what they're going to do is do a double palm strike. So they come in like that and push forward with 2 yang strikes. And even on the strike, see that? They're not right over top of each other like this. They're just a little bit relaxed the whole way to the side. So your top hand is sort of attacking the center line of your opponent, whilst the bottom hand is coming like up under the side of the ribs. Notice the breathing. We've obviously breathed out for single whip. You breathe in here. Now breathe out on the strike. Now breathe in. And then breathe out for your finished posture. So that's just like that, both palms coming through. Your hips are on the front as per a normal bow stance, 70% forward, like that. That should be all you need for that one. So just make sure you open the waist. Sink back into the front leg as you draw the hands in. See how the hands are going slightly yin there as you come in? So they're really striking out. There's 3 elements to this posture. Strike, tuck, and strike again with the fingers, but try to get at a nice fluent action. With the slow form, the Yang Lu Chan's form, we don't want to have that constant martial intent. Although each posture does represent a martial application, what we're trying to do with the form is learn, we're training the body in self-defense applications whilst keeping the mind totally relaxed. So basically, if you're constantly thinking about ripping people's heads off and smashing them in the face all the time, that's going to make your body a bit too yang. But we want to have all the training for that. So basically, by doing your Yang Lu Chan's form, you're training your body in the correct way, training all the right movements to fight, but with an empty mindset so that you're totally peaceful and calm whilst you're doing your form. Then, of course, you do your small sansao or something, or 2-person training, and then really release that energy and make sure you know how to actually execute the stuff as well. This teaches you the body mechanic. So watch the flow of the arms in this posture. It's all, again, there's no sharp edges, there's no violent intent, it's totally calming and sung. So one more time, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Your eyes focus back on the front, of course, at the end of that. So here, single whip, your eyes are on the front. Now your eyes come kind of looking slightly to the rear, but you can still see your eyes, your palm out the peripheral vision. So I'm not looking so far to the rear that I can't see my left hand. Just slightly looking rear, I can see both my hands for that whole movement. As soon as I start this next movement, my eyes go straight to the front and they stay on the front for that follow-up application. Okay, that's the end of lesson 8.